Welcome to Memorial Cooking Innovations. I'm Tim Scallon, registered dietitian.
And I'm Manuel Marini, executive chef.
Okay, so Chef Manny, this time of year, if it hasn't already started cooling down, we're at least anticipating it getting cooler. And that means dining outside. So picture this. It's Saturday morning. No rude alarm clock. Slower pace. Perhaps a good cup of coffee. You remember that Costa Rican coffee we did on a few shows back?
Oh yeah, who can forget that? But wait, Tim, is it raining outside? Is it perfect, or I mean, what's the weather like?
It's a perfect Saturday morning, and there's a little breeze blowing.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
All right.
We don't have to rush breakfast. In fact, let's do a brunch. Let's do brunch on the patio.
You know what? I got the perfect dish for that.
Okay, what? Tell me.
How about a nice frittata?
Ooh,
with a nice spring, soft, chilled salad, which is simple to make and will knock it off real fast.
Okay.
And be able to enjoy your whole Saturday just like you're imagining it.
You know, you start a Saturday like that and you got a good weekend.
Oh, you got a great weekend. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, so tell us about this frittata. So do you want to do the frittata first or the salad?
I want to do the frittata first.
Okay.
All right, because the salad won't take us long. It'll
Yep.
be just a few minutes. Play with it, have fun with it. Mm-hmm. The frittata, what we're going to do is, it's an open-face omelet, right?
Okay, yeah.
We're going to add vegetables. You could also add shrimp. You could also do what, you can experiment with whatever you like, all right?
You know,
our recipe is going to be a nice vegetable frittata.
Okay, good.
All right?
Well, let's get started.
All right, so I got my oil, a little bit of olive oil. It's heating up right now.
Okay.
I'm going to put a little bit of onions, okay?
I love onion. You could put as many of those onions in there as you want.
Yeah, we're going to do this like that.
Okay.
Not just julienne these.
You know, the frittata is the Italians' answer to the French omelet.
Exactly.
You know, some people would call it an open-face omelet, just like you said. But there are some basic differences between omelet and frittata. For example, a frittata, you add your ingredients with the egg and cook them with the egg, as opposed to layering them on top of a cooked egg in an omelet. Frittata, you're not going to fold it over the ingredients. It's open face.
It's a flat. Yes.
Yeah. The frittata, you're going to, as we see here in a little bit, you're going to cook the bottom part of the egg, but the top's still not going to be quite.
Yeah, because we're not flipping it, we're not turning it, we're not doing anything to it.
Whereas an omelet, you would actually turn the egg over.
But I am going to saute my vegetables lightly, okay? Because the egg doesn't take long to cook, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to start off with that. Now, just say we had some extra. I love potatoes. Typical breakfast, you got to have potato with breakfast.
Yeah.
I have some hash browns.
Yeah.
Square diced potatoes. If you have some, great. If you don't, that's okay. If you happen to have maybe a little chicken or whatever you like, I mean, feel free to put in there. Just, caution about how the chicken was cooked the day before or cooled down. Or, if it was raw chicken, I would put my raw chicken first. Saute that real good. Then add your vegetable to it, okay?
Yeah, because that egg isn't going to take long to cook.
It ain't going to take long to cook. So we're going to add a little bit of black pepper, Tim.
Yep, yep.
A pinch of salt.
Yep.
Okay? And I'm going to add a little bit of garlic, okay?
You got to have garlic.
You got to have a little bit of garlic.
For me, you got to have garlic.
Just to bring in the flavor.
And another thing that when we were talking about this recipe is you can really put whatever you want in there.
Definitely. And of course, we got to add a little poblano.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Now, if you have jalapeno, you want it nice and spicy, why not? Go for it.
Yeah. Now, but we've learned on past shows, we can use those hot peppers as long as we carefully remove the seeds.
And get that flavor.
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing is like a good message here is that this recipe that you're going to see in a little bit is going to be, it's not quite these exact ingredients. And the message there is a recipe is a guideline. You really put in this frittata just like an omelet, whatever you want to.
And the recipe calls for julienne vegetable. You can slice, you can dice, you can do whatever you like with your vegetable. We're just giving you a guidance how to kind of put it together. Now,
and these are pretty cut the way you did that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, you could just dice them if you wanted to.
Oh, definitely. Now, we are going to use egg beaters.
Yep.
All right? A nice, healthy way of eating, starting off the day as well.
Yep.
But you could also use regular eggs.
You could use whole eggs.
Don't put too many eggs.
Yeah. Well, and another thing that I do at home, now it's not necessarily in this recipe, but another thing I do in making either frittata or omelet is add a little bit of milk, or, you know, I have the fat-free half and half,
yes.
yeah, to the egg and fluff it up a little bit.
And it does help you fluff it up too.
Yeah.
But another thing that would help you fluff it up, we didn't use too much. You'll see later on it'll come up, is that we kind of fold it in, kind of add bubbles to it or take out bubbles out of it. But we're just going to go little by little.
And literally what you're doing when you're doing this is you're taking cooked egg, bringing it up, and allowing the uncooked egg to get down.
Speeding up the process, helping it speed up, okay?
Yeah.
Because normally we would be scrambling it, you know, this, that, to cook it fast. We don't want to cook it all the way because we want to finish in the oven. Now, the oven is going to be at 325 degrees.
Okay.
We got it preheated already, so we're at 325 degrees while we get started.
Okay.
In a few minutes, what we're going to do is, how do I know it's ready to go? It could be going right now if you want to. It's just going to be a little longer in the oven.
Yeah.
So we don't want to leave it too much, but what I wanted to do is make sure that it cooks at least halfway. You still want it runny on top. All right.
But you want really the bottom set.
Oh,
you want the bottom set.
So,
and now there's another thing that I wanted to point out that you're doing as you're stirring these is you're also kind of keeping these vegetables spread out
evenly.
You don't want them all on one side.
No. This is perfect.
And when we serve this, the reason for that's gonna come out. Another difference between a frittata and an omelet is a lot of times an omelet is served as a whole serving to an individual diner, whereas frittata you slice and serve multiple servings.
Like a cake, like a pie.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about these. These are commercial pans.
Yes.
And you asked me, how am I going to be able? They do sell commercial pans. Don't go out and buy them.
Yeah.
But they do have commercial pans like this anywhere, and then you can actually, if you read the instruction, you can actually throw these in the oven.
Because when we were talking about putting this pan in the oven, my first question was, but this is like a plastic
It'll
handle.
melt off.
Yeah, and you have to watch your cookware at home. Either you need the handle to be completely metal, or like you say in the instructions, it should say oven safe.
Safe.
Yeah.
So these are oven safe. So we're halfway.
Okay.
We're just going to throw it in the oven just like that, right about the middle, and we're just going to let it cook for a while.
All right.
All right?
Okay.
Tim, I know we used egg beaters on this recipe, but if we would have used regular eggs.
Like whole eggs.
Whole eggs.
Yeah. What's the health issue there? Well, that's a good question. You know, we used to say for people with heart disease that you only include 2 egg yolks a week. Actually, our eggs are better now. They're lower in cholesterol. And so we now say 4 eggs a week.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. And the other thing to know about that is one large egg has about 186 milligrams of cholesterol, and our daily total is 200 milligrams. So it doesn't mean I should eat all those 4 eggs in one sitting. I should spread those out.
So I could eat an egg today, egg beaters tomorrow, and kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, egg beaters is not bad at all. It's really
Actually, good flavor. It cooks like egg. Yeah.
Exactly. So.
And this recipe, I could enjoy this recipe every day.
Exactly.
So.
And the good thing about this recipe, the way we did ours, is that by adding all the flavor, the garlic, the pinch of salt and pepper, and the vegetables.
Yeah.
The flavor's there.
You bet.
So
That's right.
It isn't just egg beaters. It's more to it. So.
That's right.
So what about our salad?
Let's
nice,
do it.
fresh salad.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Basic ingredients. Avocados, of course. You know, avocados are good for you.
Okay.
Fresh tomatoes. Some onions, a little olive oil, squeeze a little lemon in it, and we'll go from there. How's that, Tim?
You know, another neat thing about frittata is, you know, Americans are not used to eating vegetables with a breakfast. You know, Hispanics bring beans, tomatoes, avocado to breakfast, and they don't think anything about that. For us, we're a little reluctant to include vegetables with breakfast. But frittata gives us a good opportunity to do that. And, you know, another difference between frittata and omelet is frittata can be served cold or hot and served with things like this salad. This salad
goes great with it. Let me tell you, my wife, she one day I said, how about doing a frittata, something simple, easy, late in the afternoon, you know. And she's like, what's in it? And I said, it's eggs. She goes, I don't eat eggs at night. She's one of those individuals that
Yeah.
breakfast is for breakfast and that. And I said, well, you got to try this.
Yeah.
And boy, did she enjoy it, because
Yeah.
it wasn't just an egg.
Yes.
It wasn't, she was thinking more of an omelet and stuff like that, but it's really not. You know?
I have to point out what you're doing here.
I'm just
You're taking that tough core out of there.
the core out,
Yeah.
and then that way, it's easy. Remember, always flat surface?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can guide myself from that.
Yeah.
And I'm just cutting them in half.
And you know, of course, it's a little late for homegrown tomatoes here these days, but that's especially good for homegrown tomatoes because sometimes those cores are really tough.
Yes. So I got a few tomatoes there. I got me some onions. I just peeled it.
You know, this salad, and of course even the
nice and thin, okay?
I'm always amazed at how fast he does this.
We just want to do it nice and thin slices.
Yeah, and when you and I are doing this, we're going to do it much
be careful.
slower. Yeah, but this meal is a good example, and it's a good time to talk about the lesson of eating more fruits and vegetables. You know, most Americans, we don't eat enough fruits and vegetables, and the simple fact is that people who eat vegetables and fruits every day have lower incidence of heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. And so everyone's always asking me, well, how much should I eat? And there's no simple answer to that. The quick answer is, well, we should eat fruits and vegetables every day. But when you talk about how many, you get into this idea of servings. And, you know, what is a serving of cantaloupe? You know, what is a serving of grapes? You know, that's a hard question. It's easy to say, you know, this is a serving of fruit. You know, this apple, a small one. Large apple would actually be 2 servings. Banana is another good example. You know, this orange, that's a serving. A large orange would be half that. Grapefruit would be half a serving. Well, the CDC kind of simplifies this question of how many servings. You know, you've probably heard it said that we need like 5 servings of fruits and 5 servings of vegetables. Well, CDC came out and said, well, let's just talk about cups of fruits and vegetables. And that way, you know, everybody knows what a cup is. And so if we just say, let's do 2 cups of fruits and 3 cups of vegetables a day, then that's easier for people to understand. Now, the other thing we have, sorry, what were you going to say?
No, go ahead. I was listening because, I mean, I would probably eat the whole cantaloupe.
Well, and that would be actually 4 servings.
Exactly.
And see, and when you think of cups, then that it makes that a little more meaningful. Now, the other thing we have to remember is the number of servings of fruits and vegetables I eat depends on how big a person I am, how old I am, and how active I am. So a younger, very active person would eat more servings of any food, not only fruits and vegetables, than an older, less active, smaller person.
So for me, it would be a normal serving.
Yeah.
I'm a small person, Tim.
Only on the inside.
So, anyways.
Okay.
Young
All right,
and
now,
small.
That's
so
right.
I was thinking I could eat more. Okay, so I got the avocados, I got
Yeah.
the tomatoes, I put a pinch of salt and pepper.
All right, now wait a minute. Now this is not how I expected you to do this. What I expected you to do was to do your dressing, and then mix all your
Mix it
stuff
all
in the
together.
dressing. Yeah,
This is summer. This is Saturday.
That's
Saturday
right.
morning.
You can do it any way you want to.
Anyway, we're sitting outside. We're doing this. You know what I mean, Tim? But remember one thing with the seeds on the.
On the lemon.
Yeah, just squeeze it all in one area so you can always pick it.
Yeah, and you know they have these wonderful lemon squeezers. You know
They do.
They strain out the seeds. Somebody gave me one of those for Christmas one year.
I got one.
And you know I use those all the time. In fact, you might have got one from me.
I probably did.
Why didn't you bring it today?
Well, because I like it this way too. Well, every time I use that thing to squeeze it, sometimes it just squeezes right at me.
It gets you back, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. For me, it does. So anyway, we're doing this.
So you're doing just a simple lemon vinaigrette right here.
That's it. Simple lemon vinaigrette. And we're just going to mix it now.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator. Okay,
Now,
Tim?
did you already put some oil in there?
I did.
Okay. So
while you were talking about portions.
So that's what makes it then a vinaigrette, is because you've got the lemon is your acid.
My acid. I got my acid, my pinch of salt, pepper, and a little olive oil.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to throw this one in the refrigerator.
All right. Now, before you do, could I just hold this for a minute in my hand? Look at. Okay, when people talk about eating whole foods, that's what this is. Whole foods means eating fresh food. And this is not only delicious, but this is a really healthy thing.
But the thing about it, we didn't do no dressings. We didn't buy no dressings.
No,
we didn't do nothing. It's just
you made your
olive
own
oil,
dressing.
Lemon. We could also squeeze a little orange juice if you want a little sweeter flavor. But other than that, this is our favorite right here.
And you see how easy that was to do. Why do we settle for a bottled dressing when it's so easy to make?
Something simple. Let's check our frittata.
Okay.
Be careful because it is hot. Oh, looking good. Right. How do I know it's ready? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shake it a little bit. I don't know if people can see me back there, but what I'm doing is I'm shaking it. And if it wobbles right in the middle, we just need a few minutes more, okay? Well, and that's what we want to do. Leave it there for a few minutes.
So it's not quite ready yet?
Not quite. Almost just in a few more minutes, and then we're almost there. Okay. Remember, when we pull it out, it's going to continue cooking.
Well, and the other thing that I
don't want to overcook it either.
Well, and the other thing I learned is you have to remember that handle is hot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You felt that one, didn't you?
Yep.
I think it's ready.
Okay.
Again, always caution because the oven is hot.
Yeah.
Ah, very nice.
Ooh, that smells wonderful.
So here it is. Here's the final.
Okay.
We're going to let it rest just a few minutes, okay, Tim?
Okay.
Before we cut, but I want to show you something I want to talk about something real quick. If you have a nice Teflon pan, don't use metal. Here's what we're going to do. I am going to put a plate over it and flip it.
You're going to invert it on the plate.
Invert it, yeah, and we're going to cut it on the plate.
Okay.
Because this pan's a little bigger than my plate, I am going to use a cutting board, okay?
Oh, okay.
But don't scratch it. Try not to use metal with Teflon because the Teflon will last you for a good long time.
Yeah, if you don't scratch it.
Exactly. So
okay.
You don't want to do that, okay?
Okay, so you're going to invert it on this cutting board.
So I am going to do this real quick. I got my cutting board here. I'm going to put it like this. Ta-da!
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay.
So now we'll cut it like a cake.
All right. I'm going to move this out of your way.
All right.
Well, you know, today we learned about the difference between frittata and omelet. And we also talked about Americans need to eat more fruits and vegetables. We want to eat more fruits and vegetables because it lowers our incidence of chronic disease like heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. We're working egg products here, and a standard recommendation is for people to eat no more than 4 yolks a week. And of course, if you make your frittata with egg beaters like we did, you could enjoy this anytime. And then Chef Manny showed us a salad that is fresh, simple, and delicious. So we'd like to thank Brookshire Brothers, a celebration of family and community. We want to say thank you to Sodexo for Chef Manny Marini. And we want to say a big thank you to the folks at the H.C. Polk Education Center. You know, they're working hard to help people to control their blood sugar. When we control blood sugar, we eliminate all of the side effects of diabetes. And, of course, thanks to the City of Lufkin. City of Lufkin produces the show and distributes it to 46 cities across the country, 8 of those in Texas. And finally, of course, we want to say thanks to you. Getting a lot of comments from you. We really appreciate it. It always makes us feel good to hear people say, we watch your show all the time. And so we want to say thank you to our viewers. So, Chef Manny,
what do you think?
This is
colorful?
Beautiful. Yeah. Can I try a bite? Okay, you got something. Do I have to eat this with my hands?
Oh, no. Let me get you.
Okay, that'll work. All right.
Get your little spoon
Here we
over
go.
here. You can cut that down.
Okay, so I've got to try this.
It's good, huh?
Mm-hmm. Chef Manny, you're changing the world one bite at a time. I'm headed to the patio.